Sounds good.
All right, cool.
All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Xtra Innings. I'm just, I'm sitting here and I got the Phillies on, and they only have one run. And last night they couldn't score either. I feel like the Phillies are going to need extra innings just to get a couple friggin' runs, man.
This offense is at a standstill still. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They lost the Kyle Gibson looks like Bob Gibson out there. It's unreal. So, and once again, and you know what? Okay, I just struck again, bro. I was ripping the Phillies offense. Bryce Harper just hit a home run.
He did.
As I was speaking. Yeah, he just went deep. Bryce Harper just went deep. The game's tied.
2-2.
So,
see, yeah, you are a mush.
Hey, I am. I think I am, but how you doing, Dave? You ready to get into some baseball here?
So, man, I am doing just fine. My whole family's down the shore. They're having a great time. I stayed back because I had softball on Sunday. I had a playoff game when, unfortunately, we lost in 3 games. It was best out of 3. Tough series. But I laid back. Right. I'm here with you, having a great time, and I'm going down tomorrow night to go see everybody. So I'm doing good.
Yeah, and we got a big weekend coming up because we're going out to visit our man Maiko Spencer out there in Johnstown, and then we're doing Phillies Pirates this weekend. So
wait a minute, I thought we were seeing Mr. Fuji. I thought we were going to go see Mr. Fuji 2.0. That's what I thought we were going. I don't know. I mean,
maybe, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to this weekend, and Extra Innings will be taking a road trip.
Yes, we will. Yeah, we are going out to Johnstown.
Yeah, Johnstown, and then I've never been to PNC. Have you been to PNC Park before?
It's so funny. I have been to PNC Park before. A bunch of friends of mine. We went up there a long time ago when it first opened up. The first year it opened up. We went to go see Pittsburgh and the Braves. Not my two teams to see, but friends of mine. They're big Braves fans, so they asked me to go. And we ended up going up, and it's a good 5-6 hour ride, whatever it was. So we got there about 3:30 in the afternoon. We stayed at a Ramada Inn, which was fun, So we get to the game. Right. It's about 6:30, and the rains came down. We got poured on. We were rain delayed for 3 hours.
Okay.
So it actually the game started at 7:05, but it started raining about 6:15, 6:30. And it rained till like 9:30. It didn't stop till like 9:30, 9:45. So they canceled the game, okay, and said our tickets were good for the next day, okay. But the problem was it was that Sunday, so they were going to do a doubleheader that day at 105 okay. But our tickets were good for the 4:35 game, not the 105 game.
You got boned.
So we didn't stay. We left that morning because we didn't know. So we got a guy had to be at work the next day. So there was no way we were going to do that. So
yeah, I was going to say that's a tough one. I mean, if you go to a 4:35 game, that ain't over till like 7:38, and then you're not getting home till like between 1 and 2 in the morning. That's
exactly
rough.
Yep, that's why we didn't stay. Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah,
I mean, I got to see the stadium, which was really nice. I toured the stadium, saw the what do you call it? All the sporting what do you call it? I can't even think of the word. Or the uniforms and the store, the sports store, which is very nice.
Oh okay.
Yeah, we toured that, which was very nice. Got to the top of the stadium, and the best part of the day was when they put the tarp on the field. John Rocker, do you remember John Rocker? Okay, he slid across the tarp. He slid across the tarp. That was the highlight of the night.
Oh wow. Okay. I think I remember John Rocker. Yeah, he had those. He was. Yeah, I remember he had the infamous comments back in like the late '90s about the New York trains and all that stuff. Yeah, I
Yep.
remember him.
He put on he had some kind of suit on or whatever. It was like a wetsuit, and he slid across the tarp, and that was highlight.
That's pretty funny. All right, so the important question though, let's keep it real. The important question is, are there a lot of good like bars and restaurants out there?
I really don't know. I couldn't tell you. We didn't really tour. We didn't have time. Every time I no idea.
Right.
No idea.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, because that's that. I mean, I'm all about base. I love baseball and all, but I'm kind of out for the time. You know what I mean? So I'm looking for some good spots to go. So hey, if anybody out there is a Pirates fan and has been to PNC, let me know about some good spots to hit, because that's what I'm trying to do.
I'm down. Wherever. Let us know. I would love to know too. Actually, in fact, it's funny. My Aunt Eileen, her son lives out in Pittsburgh. So
okay.
Maybe I'll hit him up before we go.
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to have one of them Permani Brothers Johns. I'm definitely going to have one of them Johns. I heard, I got to have one.
Before you go, hey Eileen, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yes. And then she said the Yankees are down 5-0 to the Mets. Man, what the heck's wrong with the Yankees?
The Mets are up 5-0. Wow.
Yeah. And then that guy Vogelback, I was joking around with Ken Fry last night. He said, "Oh, we'll trade you Vogelback," and I was like, "Yeah, I thought I saw Vogelback like hanging out on the playground by my crib. He looks like a softball player. You know what I'm saying?
Big Vogelback."
Yeah. So, but what's funny though? I was talking about the Phillies' like lack of offense, and I know you and I were discussing. We're going to get into a lot of stuff here, but we were discussing kind of, baseball and who were some of like the, there's guys that are really producing. I know Dave, you had a list of some of the top batting average guys in baseball you wanted to get into here.
I did. It was kind of funny. So I was kind of doing my homework today while I was doing my promo and all that other fun stuff. I was having a good time with it. Hey, by the way, did you like my promo today?
Yeah, it was good.
I appreciate it. I worked hard on that.
I like
anyway.
Yeah, it was good. Seriously, I was just curious to see where the ball went, because you were like, "I'm going to go hit," and I was like, I wonder where he hit that, John.
Yeah, I was just something I was having fun with. I was doing my homework today, and I came up with the top 5 MLB American League leaders of batting averages, and it's kind of funny how it worked out, but I'm going to go over some of them right now. I mean, I'm going to say number 1, Yandy Diaz, Tampa Bay. This guy's hitting 317. My God, I mean, I know it's not great, but it is. Not bad at all. No. My number 2 guy is a Boston Red Sox, actually. Maz Ystrada, is that right? I can't even pronounce his last name. Ystrada?
Yoshida, I think, is his last name.
Okay, something like that. Man, he's hitting 315. I mean, seriously, with the Red Sox. I mean, that's pretty decent. I mean, we're in July, and the guy's hitting 315.
And he's a rookie too. So I mean, you figure, he's I think the betting odds for rookie of the year in the AL, I think Gunnar Henderson. Wait, no, I think Henderson and Jung are both plus 190, and I think Yoshida's like plus 210.
There you go. You're on it.
Yeah.
Eileen says, before I forget, Aaron Judge might be back for the weekends.
Back for the weekends here. Yeah.
Wow, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
I know.
My third guy. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I don't know if I don't think Judge would be up there as far as average, but like as far as like big leaders in the AL, well, he definitely be one of the big leaders in the AL. That's for sure.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, I'm sure the Yankees would be glad to have him back. They're missing that bat. That's for sure.
Yes.
My third guy is from the Toronto Blue Jays. We all know who this guy is. Bo Bichette.
Yeah. Okay.
Guy's hitting 307. Wow. I mean, and the Blue Jays are getting hot. They're starting to. They are a weird team. They're starting to win. They go up. They go down. Yeah, they've been like that all season. Yeah.
They are weird. They are weird. Although we both have them in our top 10. I have them as in the power rankings. I have them as number 10. You have them as number 8. And
yes,
they are a weird team, Dave. I mean, like I could see, they're the kind of team that if they do get in the playoffs, they could win the whole damn thing. And wouldn't that be? That would be something. That'd be the 30-year anniversary of the 93 championship.
You know what? That's funny you should say that. That is so correct. And we know how that happened.
We do. Unfortunately, we do. Yes, touch them all, Joe.
I mean, ask Mitch how that worked out for him.
Hey, yo, and remember the kid from Big Daddy was conceived that night.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
He didn't know. He didn't know about him, and then he's like, "Oh, remember when we went up to Toronto? Mitch Williams," and he's like, "Like Joe Carter."
Does Schilling still have a towel over his head, Saul? I'm still wondering.
Wait, what's this?
I said, does Schilling still have the towel over his head?
I don't know, but a lot of people wish Schilling. A lot of people think Schilling's put his foot in his mouth a lot the last couple of years. He's gotten a lot of criticism the last couple of years, Kurt.
but let's go back to that 93 series though. If you remember Game 5, he pitched a heck of a game, man. He really did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. My fourth guy, Josh Naylor. Is that right? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. He's hitting for Cleveland. He's hitting 306. Pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good. I see Sean's got a comment there.
Yeah, he said the Baltimore Orioles and Arizona Diamondbacks are among the clubs to inquire about I guess that's Shohei Ohtani. Wow. Well, now Baltimore.
I heard that.
I mean, here's the thing. They both have the ammunition to get him. Now Baltimore would be really interesting because they definitely have the ammunition, but Baltimore has. See, the thing about the Orioles is I know they're playing great this year. Like they're 62-38, and they're in first place and they're killing it. But that's they haven't won a World Series since 1983, so that's 40 years for them.
How'd that happen for another Phillies loss? Oh my gosh!
I was just about to say that. I mean, damn, dude, it's like the anniversary of World Series losses for. Well, hey, isn't that a good omen for the Phillies though? I mean, think about it: 83, 93, and then 2023. Why? Except let's win this time, right?
Hey, it's so funny how things work out.
Hey, maybe we can have a rematch in 1983.
Phil's Orioles
win.
There you go.
Hey, I'd be dealing with it. The only thing for me is though, I kind of obviously I'm a Phillies fan, but I kind of support the Orioles somewhat. Why I wouldn't be able to rock any Orioles gear. You know what I mean?
No, Mr. Oriole man over there. I hear you.
Yeah, so that would probably ban me from rocking Oriole, especially if we lose. Now, if we won, hey, whatever. You know what I mean? Because I'd be like, hey, we won that, John. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, if we lost, that would probably get me in some trouble.
I would think so. I definitely would think so. My last guy in the American League, I said top 5. I'm going to go number 5. Kyle Tucker, Astros, hitting 303.
Yeah, he's a hell of a player. What's funny too? I didn't really know. Obviously being a nationally, being a Phillies fan, until the World Series. I mean, of course, I knew the Astros from the playoffs and stuff, but I didn't really think Kyle Tucker broke out until last year. And then, if you remember, I mean, he demolished us that game 1. What he had 2 homers in game 1. I mean,
sounds right.
Yeah, he had a really good series in some of those games. That kid's a good ball player.
Yes, he is. Very good. So that's my top 5 of the American League best averages leaders right now, 223.
All right, and then I know you want to do the National League too. I mean, I have a couple here in the National League that what's funny because I only had the major leagues in my list here, but the top three are in the National League. So you got
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Arias of Miami. He's still hitting three. It's funny. He's 379, and it's
yep.
like you feel like slumping because like about a month ago he was like 390.
393.
Right. So he's there at 379. Now the Marlins have been struggling a little bit the past like 10 days or so, but he's still up there in average. Ronald Acuna Jr., he's hitting 312. He's he's almost a shoo-in in my eyes for MVP right now. I mean, he's definitely the leader. And then you got Freddie Freeman of the Dodgers hitting. You know what? I'm sorry, I misread that. Acuna's actually hitting. Acuna's actually hitting 332.
332. I was wondering where you came up with 312, but okay.
No, you know what happened? I thought it was. Well, you know what's weird? I thought it was 332, but then on my paper here, it's like kind of crinkled and it looked like a 1. And I was like, wait a minute, I thought I saw 332. So then you got Freddie Freeman hitting 329 on a red hot Dodgers team.
Mm-hmm.
So who were 4 and 5? Do you say?
My fourth guy was Bryson Stott from the Phils.
Okay.
Hitting 301.
Yeah, really good young ball player. I mean, I know I say it every week, but in my opinion, a future batting champion. He's the kid hits to all fields. I think he's eventually going to hit for a little bit more pop too.
I totally agree.
I think in a year or two, I think you'll see him hitting 15 to 20 homers. I think he's going to get a little bit more power.
I've never seen a kid like him. I mean, he is the best 2-strike hitter I've ever seen. I mean, my man,
he's really good with 2 strikes. Yeah, that's a really good. That's the mark of a really good hitter.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he'll foul balls off all day. You know.
Yeah. They're different kind of players, but he reminds me a little bit of Lenny Dykstra in that respect. Remember Lenny back in the day never minded getting 2 strikes. He didn't care, and Lenny would be up there and he would. God, I mean, I remember at bats he would spoil like 4 or 5 pitches in an at bat, and he would be so calm. I mean, he'd be up there with 2 strikes and he'd be like, no big deal. He'd be like spoil. And half the time he could have like an 0-2 or a 1-2 count. He'd battle it all the way back and work a walk, or he'd hit a solid line drive. I mean, you know, that's the mark of a really good hitter.
Well, I'll tell you, Lenny would drive pitchers crazy.
Yeah.
Because he would sit there and foul balls off all day, and then all of a sudden he hit a bomb with a double or a triple or something, you know. That was the Lenny way, you know.
You know what I'd like to do one time? I'd like to do a show on actually, you know what, on all-time clutch playoff performers. Because Lenny would be on that list, honestly.
Absolutely.
In fact, ironically, so we were talking about we mentioned the 93 Phillies with how they lost to, and the one guy you would say wasn't clutch, it turned out to be was Mitch Williams because of what happened. But the 93 Phillies had 2 guys that I would put on that team. I put Lenny on that team because not just from the Phillies, but the 86 Mets, he was really clutch too.
Yes, he was.
And Curt Schilling, bro. Curt Schilling was one of the best playoff performers of all time.
Yes, he was. And Curt Schilling to me was an amazing pitcher, but that game 5 against Toronto just sticks in my mind. He was on fire that day. I think he pitched a complete game, wasn't it?
He did a complete. Ironically, it was the night after the 15-14 game where nobody could get anybody out.
Right.
And the very next night, Curt Schilling pitched a 1-0 gem.
Wow.
And not just that, but look what Schilling did in Arizona.
Yep.
Look what Schilling did in Boston with the bloody sock game.
I was just going to bring that up, the bloody sock game. Yeah.
Yeah. Another guy actually, and this is going off subject here. Another guy put up there was Josh Beckett, because we were talking about because I was thinking of Red Sox. Josh Beckett, not only for the Marlins, but also for the '07 Sox. He was a really clutch pitcher, too.
There you go. And my last guy I have is Lane Thomas, hitting .293.
Lane Thomas. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That guy. Mako.
Yeah, he says, "What's up, fam? Can't wait to see Power Rank and see if my Braves are still number one." Well, yeah, they are, and we didn't jinx you yet.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? If we did jinx them, Mako might be like, "Hey, you know what? Y'all can't stay at my crib. You jinx my Braves." You know.
I don't. Man. No. Mako might at last say Mr. Fuji 2.0 might. You never know.
Miko Spencer says, "Can't forget Greg Maddux when we talk pitching." No, totally agree. And you know now this is an interesting one because as great as Greg Maddux was, I don't necessarily think of him as a clutch postseason pitcher though.
Wait, let's go back to this real quick. I want to go back to Greg Maddux. Well, we're on Greg Maddux. Do you think of Greg Maddux more as a Brave or as a Cub?
Oh, a Brave by far.
Really?
Oh, he had his best. He had his. Yeah, I mean, well, he pitched longer with the Braves. I mean, he was with the Braves from '93 all the way to 2000 and. Christ, when the hell did he retire? I mean, he pitched for the Braves for at least 10 years, and they were in the playoffs every year. I mean, the Cubs. I think he did win his first. He did win his first Cy Young with the Cubs, though. I think.
That's what I thought. I mean, I get it with the Braves. That makes more sense. But he was good with the Cubs too. You know.
Yeah, but the Braves is where he really blossomed in Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta's where I think. And don't get me wrong. I mean, Maddux was unbelievable. I think Maddux would have been a great pitcher no matter what. But remember, the Braves had that great pitching coach that used to go like this. I think his name was Leo Mazzoni.
Leo Mazzoni, yes.
Leo Mazzoni, and yeah, they'd show him in the dugout, and he'd be rocking back and forth, and you're like, man, what's up with this dude? You know what I mean? But the guy could really coach some. The guy could really coach some pitching. Here we go. Are we ready? Lord. Spencer, are we ready for Friday to Sunday party time? Maddux 93 to 2003. Yeah, we are ready, man. I was just wow, Castellanos just made a nice play.
Nice.
We are ready, man. I can't wait to come up and chill and have some drinks, get some grub.
Have a good time.
And I was mentioning earlier we were trying. I want to try to find some spots in Pittsburgh when we go to that game. We'll have to scope out the scene. You know.
I'm down.
All right. So we did the top five batters in each league.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Since we're on individuals, let's knock the individuals out here, all right? And then we'll go to these teams here because I gotta eat a little crow, man. I mean, I was talking when we go to these divisions. I got to eat a little crow because I was talking so much shit on the AL Central. Meanwhile, my Phillies went to Cleveland, lost 2 of 3. They were lucky to win on Sunday. And by the way, Minnesota Twins 8-10 and they're 8-2 in their last 10.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, 8-2 in their last 10. It's almost like they dug Kirby Puckett up or something. You know what I mean? And Joe Mauer got back in the catcher, because they're starting to play some good ball.
Did you say they dug Kirby Puckett up?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a shame. I mean, God rest his soul. The poor guy died young. He was a great player. You know what I mean?
He was. Yep.
I still remember him from he won 2 world champ. They won in '87 and '91, so he has 2 World Series rings. I mean, the guy. Hit that big home run in Game 6 to extend it to Game 7. I mean, he was a great player.
Well, your AL Central, your Minnesota Twins are rolling right now. I don't know what it is, but
yeah, they're a whole 6 games over 500.
Yeah, they are.
They're playing well. So,
but the rest of the division is not doing so hot. But okay.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, so we touched on the top 5 batting average guys in the whole league.
Mm-hmm.
I like to touch on the who's killing it in young guys. So
Okay.
we got the top rookies in the I mentioned the betting odds earlier on the American League. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll start with the American League. The American League, Gunnar Henderson of Baltimore on a tear. I mean, he's hitting 244. He's got 16 homers, 43 RBIs. He's a co-leader with Josh Jung of the Texas Rangers. He's hitting 275 with 20 homers, 61 RBIs.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically right nipping at their heels is Yoshida of the Red Sox. He's got the highest average. He's hitting 315. He's got 11 homers, 51 RBI. So really, there's a three-way race in the American League for Rookie of the Year. I mean, it's kind of nip and tuck, to be honest with you.
I'm kind of like that, like Yoshida. I got to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, any one of those guys can win. Honestly, it's going to come down to the last couple months.
Mm-hmm.
In the National League, in my eyes, it's still Corbin Carroll's race to win. He's hitting 280, 21 homers, 55 RBIs. There are some guys that are playing well now. Dela Cruz of Cincinnati, he started late. He's hitting 273, 6 homers, 19 RBIs. Alvarez of the Mets has some serious power. He's hitting 238. He's got 19 homers, 41 RBIs.
Mm-hmm.
Since Cincinnati Reds have 3 other young guys that are really playing well. They got Matt McLean. He's hitting 301, 10 homers, 35 RBIs. Spencer Steer, 276, 14 homers, 55 RBIs. And they got a pitcher by the name of Andrew Abbott, a left-handed pitcher. He's 5-2 with a 2.10 ERA.
Wow.
So for a pitcher, he's doing well. You got Cody Senga of the Mets. Now I don't think he's going to win Rookie of the Year, but he's hanging tough. And even though the Mets are struggling now, although they can take solace that they're kicking the Yankees' ass tonight.
Well, now.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That could change with their bullpen.
This is true.
But
speaking of bullpen, not to cut you off, but speaking of bullpen, Mr. Robertson, I read an article today for the Mets, former Phil, Brian, remember Dave Robertson? Yeah. Robertson, yeah. They were talking about he might get traded again, and he was like, "Oh no," he goes, "I don't want to move again." He goes, "I'm comfortable where I am. I want to stay in Met," but he goes, "If it happens, it happens." But this poor guy, he can't stay in one spot.
Yeah, well, we don't want him back in Philly because he was good for the Yankees, came to the Phillies, or he was good for the Yankees.
Was he injured too?
And then he got hurt with us, and then he came back to us last year. He was good with the Cubs, and then he was mediocre for us. So we're good. We don't need him back.
But he has 14 saves over at in New York. I don't understand. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, well, I'm not interested. Somebody else can take him.
Okay. I mean, he's not that bad, really. I mean, think about it.
No. Oh no, I hear you. I'm just saying I'm just not interested in him here. That's all.
Okay, I got you. Hey, he's got 14 saves. It's not bad.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, I don't know how many he blew, but yeah, I mean, it's I mean, hey, who knows?
Right.
We got real quick, Cody Senga, 7-5, 3.27 ERA, 125 Ks and 99 innings pitched. So while the Mets have some young guys that are actually playing well.
Mets have individuals that are playing well. The team's not playing well. I just don't understand how a team like that with so much money is not getting it done. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Eileen C., this must be about Robertson. She said he had Tommy John at some point. I take him back. Well, I don't blame Eileen for wanting him back because he was a really good Yankee. Robertson was a really good setup man for the Yankees. So I could see why she would want him back because if for some reason he seems to pitch well in New York. It's like there he pitches well, but some other spots he doesn't.
Some players are like that, though. I mean, they're comfortable in some spots. They go to other places they don't do so hot.
Yeah, well, it's funny because usually with the Yankees, like some guys have a problem pitching there. You know what I
Right.
mean? But
I hear you.
and then real quick before we get in the teams, is anybody challenging Shohei Ohtani for MVP? I mean, he's hitting 302, 36 homers, 77 RBIs. I know the Angels may or may not make the playoffs, and he may or may not be on the move. But I think he should win the MVP. And Acuna in the National League, 332, 23 homers, 58 RBIs. The only other guy I could see maybe getting in the National League would be maybe one of his teammates, like Matt Olson, got 32 homers.
Yep.
Like that.
I was thinking the other day, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was saying he's a big Braves fan, very big Braves fan, loves the Braves, all about the Braves. I said, we were watching the Braves the other day. Oh, no, I'm sorry, we were watching the Dodgers the other day, and Freddie Freeman goes yard twice. Two at bats. Yeah, I said, do you miss him? He goes, no, I got my first baseman. I'm good. I'm like, all right. I was just wondering,
Well, I mean, with the way the Dodgers, Freddie Freeman would have to be somewhat of a candidate for a top player too. I mean, with what he's doing,
dude, he's hitting 329. So come on.
Exactly. So yes, I understand Braves fans are happy with Matt Olson, and I don't blame them. But Freddie Freeman is still a hell of a player.
True. He's like, yeah, but Matt Olson's younger, a lot younger than Freddie, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I think he's a lot younger. I think he's a lot younger than Freddie.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into some of these standings in a minute and break down some of these playoffs. But I know we got the trade deadline coming up next week. Any rumors or names you hearing out there that could possibly make a difference in some of these races?
It's so funny. I keep hearing a lot of things are going on. I mean, talk about Ohtani, like you were saying earlier. I heard the Orioles are interested in him, and the Dodgers are still in there. I don't know. You tell me.
Worried about the Adam Glenn, are you worried about the Phillies? Well, not necessarily. I still think they make the playoffs, but they do need to make a move. Like Dave, what have you heard anything about some of the guys the Phillies may be targeting?
I really haven't heard much what they're like name wise, but I know they're willing to make a move somewhere along the line. I don't know what they're looking for. If I had to guess, I would think a bat or an outfielder. Like I know we were talking about McCutchen not too long ago. But then I read something on McCutchen that Pittsburgh's not willing to let him go. I don't know. That's what I keep hearing.
Really?
Yeah, they said he's gonna stay. That's what I keep hearing.
He's not having a bad year out there, but what's he going to do? Help him stay in last place?
Right, exactly.
44 and 56. Maybe. Is it possible? McCutchen's an older player now, and he's had his most success in Pittsburgh. It could be maybe that's a situation where maybe he's just comfortable in Pittsburgh and he doesn't want to move anywhere.
That's a possibility. Yeah,
yeah. That does happen to older guys. I know some guys want to ring chase, and then some guys are like, you know what, I'm comfortable. I'm back I like Pittsburgh. I just want to stay here.
It's possible.
And if you think about it, you're not going to get, I doubt you're going to get really high level prospects from McCutchen. So it could be where the Pirates are like, hey, we're just going to honor this. What are we going to do? Get a team's like 10th prospect?
Didn't he start? He started his career in Pittsburgh, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. That's where I think he either won an MVP or he was a finalist for an MVP.
I think he was a finalist, to be honest. But one time when you start somewhere, you kind of want to finish where you started. So,
Sometimes, yeah. Real quick, just to bring up the Phillies. I heard the Phillies are looking for right-handed hitting outfielders, and the guy by the name of Tommy Pham that plays for the Mets is a
I
possibility.
heard that.
He hits right. He hits lefties pretty good because they. I mean, right now they're not hitting righties or lefties, but in general they need somebody to help them hit some lefties. They need a right-handed bat in that lineup.
Yeah, his name came up a couple times. I've heard that, Tommy Pham.
Yeah, and then there's Eileen C here says she heard the Giants were interested in Verlander. Well, boy, that hey, I'll tell you what, that would change that race because the Giants are
What is up with them? I don't get this team. I don't understand the Giants. I mean, when they get hot at times, then they just start to fall. Is that a Kapler thing? Am I missing something here? I mean, what?
We may have to realize that Gabe Kapler might just be a good manager.
I believe he is. I really do.
I do too.
Yeah, I do
too. I mean, I would love to sit here and rip him and be like coconut oil with all his weird ass shit that he does or anything. But I gotta give the dude credit, man, because it's because honestly, Dave, I don't really think the Giants. I don't think the Giants are an overly talented team. I mean, they have some good players, but like for instance, a few years ago they won 104 games, where they beat the Dodgers out by 1 game or something like that. And
something like that.
I don't really when I look at the Dodgers lineup, and I mean not the Dodgers. When I look at the Giants lineup and all their I go, they're not I'm not that impressed with them, but yet they keep winning.
They've been up and down last couple of past weeks. But if you look at it, Saul, seriously, they're only 4 games out of this West. This is, between Arizona and San Francisco and the Dodgers, it's a 4-game race here. It's a race. Anything's possible.
Yeah,
it's only 4 games between 3 teams. Wow.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And imagine if they added a Verlander, and then you look at some of the other guys that could be dealt this week. Of course, the big name is Ohtani.
Yes.
We'll see what happens with him. You got a guy like a Blake Snell of San Diego. He can make a difference in a race because if he went to a contending team, say a team like Baltimore added him to their staff.
Well, I heard Tampa was interested. Tampa wants him back. That's what I heard.
Well, that would make some sense, honestly, because they, if you remember from that Phillies series, I think Tampa had 2 bullpen games that week.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So they could use some help. Marcus Stroman of the Cubs, he could be available possibly.
I keep hearing Goldschmidt's name. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, he could be out there. The Cardinals have some relievers that are possibilities in trades. So there are a lot of difference makers could be dealt. Now, just from a Phillies point of view, I feel like you could be looking at a right-handed bat and a reliever or two. I think is what we're looking at. I don't see anything bigger than that, but sometimes those moves are the kind of remember in 2008, the Phillies went out and got Joe Blanton. That turned out to be great. He was undefeated.
Yeah, huge. Yep. Remember that grand slam he hit? Was it a grand slam he hit in the World Series?
What's that?
I said, didn't Joe Blanton hit a grand slam in the World Series?
I don't think it was a grand slam, but it was a home run though. He
was it a 3-run home maybe? Something I don't even remember. And I keep hearing Nolan Arenado for the Cardinals too.
Yeah, I've heard that too, but I guess I haven't really heard a specific team for Nolan Arenado.
No.
I would love to see but Bohm's playing pretty well, so I don't know if that would move, but it definitely would be an upgrade.
Come on, Saul. Who would you rather have at third base? Seriously.
Arenado, honestly. If you told
absolutely.
If you told, and because he hits for more pop too.
Sure.
Arenado is going to wind up with probably close to 30 home runs. I think he's got over 20. So Arenado is going to get you to where that's a move I would make if I could, as much as I like Bohm, if I could trade Bohm and a prospect and wind up with Arenado, he would put some major thump in this lineup.
Now, I did read today the Nationals are really considering of trading Jameer Candelario. Is that right?
Okay.
Yeah, they said that's pretty much going to happen. I don't know where he's going to go to, but his name did definitely come up in their trade talks, I should say.
Yeah, well, I would. I was going to say I would think anybody they could trade. These teams that stink like that, anybody they could trade to get some young prospects, they would definitely do.
And my last guy that I was actually looking at was the catcher for the Royals, Salvador Perez. He's actually on the trade block too. Yes, he's on the trade block too. His name keeps popping up in Royal Land. So I don't know.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we'll see. Well, hey, listen. No matter, from our perspective, no matter who the Phillies get, hopefully it's a good move. But
I'm sure they will.
Before we get into these standings here, if you want to make a really good move and get some good coffee, make sure you check out these guys. Monkey's Cold Coffee. They got the best coffee in the land. You could use the promo code OOTBS Sports at monkeycoldcoffee.com at the checkout. The owner, Matt, donates 10% of each sale to the National Pediatric Foundation at nationalpcf.org. So, not only do they have great coffee, Dave, but, they're good dudes. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Anybody out there that has personal injury, like we talked, Eileen C mentioned a guy that got Tommy John surgery, so I don't know if he'd be able to use Jason Fine, but but if you have a personal injury, if you got a personal injury out there, say we're out in Pittsburgh, you know what I mean? And who knows what can happen, Dave. Hopefully we don't have to call Jason Fine in our adventures this weekend.
I hope not. I don't want to call him, but okay.
but if you do need a lawyer, this is the guy to call. He does motor vehicle accidents, slip and fall, workers' compensation, personal injury claims. Call Jason 24/7 directly at 267-962-4895 or Maiko Spencer at 267-303-7324 for a free consultation. He's got offices in Philadelphia, Cherry Hill, and Pittsburgh. So there we go, Dave. We're in luck. If some stuff goes down, we're good when we're in Pittsburgh.
We're covered either way.
Exactly. Here's a case near and dear. I know, Dave, you're really in the softball and everything. Yes. So this, and Ken Fry, this is Not Your Average Janes. They were formed in the summer of 2019. They're looking for donations and sponsors to help cover the travel and equipment for the upcoming year. So, make sure you check them out. Here's the lineup for the Out of the Box Sports. You can see all the shows on here. You got our show on there, Sully Squad Monday. The old school's coming back, and we still got to firm up a date for that. We'll be doing the 93 Phillies, and we got to firm up a date for the old school. Really good show tonight. Guy just debuted. Commander's Gridiron was just
Steven. Yes.
6:30. Yep. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he did a really good job, and hey, while I'm not a Commanders fan, it was interesting getting his perspective on their team, because I'll tell you what, and I know you're a Cowboys guy, Dave, but just having all these shows and about our division is really interesting, and
I think it's amazing, to be honest with you.
I do too, and the Commanders are I may be in the minority here, but I feel like their defense is good. If they could get any kind of quarterback play, like if Sam Howell can be halfway decent, that team could surprise some people.
Come on, Sal, say it with me. Left hand up.
Oh man, that's a little scary. So
I'm telling you.
Yeah, and then tomorrow night, my man, you could check out. It still says Saturday. It's actually Thursday at, I believe, 7.
I think it's 7. Yeah.
My man Mike Fuji's going to have the great Dan Baker, public address announcer with the Phillies and the Eagles, will be a special guest tomorrow night. So make sure you check out the Fuji's Flair. Last week he had a guy that built like a replica field in his yard or whatever. It was pretty cool. That's a big
interview there with Dan Baker. That's huge.
Yeah, Fuji Fuji knows a lot of people, so he gets some good guests. So make sure you check him out. It'll be an interesting show.
Mm-hmm.
And I got one on here too. I know not everybody watching this is necessarily a Philadelphia fan, but if you happen to be in the area and you want to do a trip, Philly Sports Trips got you covered. I mean, they do every Eagles game. They're doing Phillies Pirates this weekend too. So hey, who knows? Maybe in our walking around tailgating or whatever we're doing, maybe we'll link up with some, a bunch of people from Philly out there.
Hey, we just might run into somebody we know.
Exactly. And one more here, Dave. Why don't you take this one away?
Oh, yes, the Atomic Drop podcast coming at you live Friday night at a location near Pittsburgh, I think it is, I want to say. But anyway, check us out. Me and Big Ken will be taking you, giving you all the wrestling action, WWE action, Raw, SmackDown, and the pay-per-view coming up, SummerSlam. So check us out, 10:30 Friday night, the Atomic Drop podcast. Hope to see you there.
Oh wow! I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. Well, shoot, I mean, I plan on being 3 sheets to the wind by the time 10:30 comes around. Maybe
maybe a special guest of Sully. Maybe somebody from the Sully squad will be on the show. I don't know. I mean, who knows? Anything's possible.
Yeah, well, geez, yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say, we might be in a bar at in Pottstown. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no, not Pottstown, Johnstown.
Johnstown.
I may be.
Who knows?
Yeah, Sully's gonna be cracking on the locals. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like,
you think, can I call myself?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah, we might need to call him this weekend.
Maybe a special guest from. I don't know. Maybe Mr. Fuji 2.0 will show up. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Who knows?
Maiko Spencer's got to take us out to some spots in Johnstown, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Hey, I'm single and ready to mingle now. You know what I'm saying? So who the hell's out there in Johnstown? I'll be throwing.
Sully's playing the field, baby.
I'm trying to throw it down. It's like that ludicrous. It's like that ludicrous song. Remember back in the day, like it was like we're partying until the fire marshal kicks us out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's fire marshal kicking, dude.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Hey man, what's that saying, dude? We ain't here for a long time. We're here for a good time. You know what I'm saying?
Good time. That's right. That is correct.
All right. So
fight for your right to party, Saul.
Hell yeah. So I'll pull the Jason. What's that? The Travis Kelce, right? You got to fight for your right to party.
All right, Beastie Boy, I hear you.
All right. So all right. So let's get down to these standings here before we get out.
Yeah, the standings. Yes.
All right. So you know what? Let's start. I guess we'll start with the NL East. We'll start with our division here.
That usually we start with the American League, but we can go National League today.
Yeah, well, because I feel like I got to eat a little. We'll finish up with the American League because I got to eat a little crow on the AL Central. So
yes, you do.
All right, so NL East, you got the Atlanta Braves, still number one on each of our power rankings here for whatever that was worth. Because people could wipe their ass with my power rankings, considering I literally shit all over the Phillies lineup, and then as we came on here, that Bryce Harper had a home run. But we still only have 2 runs though, bro. So we're not exactly killing it.
No,
it's not exactly Roy Hobbs hitting the cover off the ball. You know what I mean?
Well, in the Orioles' credit, they do have a solid bullpen though. I'll give them that much.
Hang on, Mako Spencer says, Dave, I hear Mr. Fuji lives near Johnstown. You should crash at his house on Friday.
Hey, if I find Mr. Fuji, I definitely will. I definitely will do that. I definitely will. I got to find him first, though.
I was going to say, I wouldn't mind finding a Mount Fuji, though. There's a Mount Fuji in Newtown that's got some seriously good fucking food.
Mr. Fuji's tough to find, though. I can't find him half the time.
Yeah, you could look for Mr. Fuji. I'm going to look for Mount Fuji. Right? So, all right. So Mount Fuji. Yeah, I mean, like I said, for Friday, it's on, baby. It's on like Donkey Kong.
Mount Fuji. Oh god.
All right. So we got the Braves 64 and 34. They're only 4-6 in their last 10. They still got it. They still got an 11.5 game lead though, because even though they're only 4-6, the Marlins were second. They're 54 and 47. They're 11.5 games out. They're only 2-8 in their last 10. So the Marlins are starting to come back down to earth here.
Yep, the fish are coming. They're making their run. No, I'm not making a run, but they're in second place right now.
Yeah, I think the fish are getting eaten by some of them killer sharks. But by the way, did you see like the news? There's supposedly some cocaine sharks going on.
What?
No, I'm not bullshitting you. I saw the news. There's apparently, they had like the cocaine bear. I saw on the news. I thought somebody, dude, Dave. I thought somebody was fucking with me, but I actually saw on the news they're talking about cocaine sharks.
Cocaine sharks. Did not hear that. No, I can't say that.
Apparently, yeah. But anyway, it's almost like some cocaine sharks are eating some of these Marlins, bro, because they're playing like shit. They're 2-8 in their last 10.
Yeah, they're 2-8 last 10. They're not doing too good. No.
So they're shit in the bed. Phillies are 53 and 47, 5-5 in their last 10. I hate to say it, but I think they're about to take an L because the Orioles are bringing in. It looks like they're bringing in Batista, and Batista's straight up nasty, bro.
He's nasty.
Yeah, I would be extremely shocked if the Phillies came back in this game. So 53 and 47, I'm calling it. Hopefully I'm reverse mushing. I'm calling 53 and 48 unless there's a year. Oh no! Wait a minute. There is hope. They're not going to Bautista. They're going to Cano.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Got to see. There you go again.
Yeah, but he's nasty too. He's got a 1.48 ERA.
Well, like I said, they have a good bullpen. They really do.
Yeah, opponents are hitting 220 against them. Well, shit, for Kyle Schwarber, that would be a major upgrade.
This is true.
All right, so the Phillies, you got the Mets 46 and 53, 4-6 in their last 10. They're 18.5 games out. But they might beat the Yankees, so that would be a
Well, they're actually up 7-1 on the Yanks right now, from what I heard.
Yeah, see, I told you I wasn't lying.
Cocaine sharks.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, I'm not saying you're wrong. I just never heard of it, but okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. I ain't trying to go far out in that ocean, bro.
No.
Yo, the ocean's the shark's home, dude. I'm cool with the beach, dude.
Well, it's kind of cool though. When you're at the beach and you see the dolphins go up and down. I'm into that. That's kind of cool.
Oh, I'm into that too. But Leo, I know, but it'd be kind of sad though. It'd be kind of dramatic though. Imagine the little kids like watching a dolphin jump up and like a big great white like just attacks his ass, like on all high on like basically a Lawrence Taylor shark. You know what I'm saying? You got an LT shark out there taking
right
out. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. What's up, Scotty?
Hey, what's up, Scott? How you doing? Scott's got a question real quick.
Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know.
What moves will the Phillies make during the trade deadline? I'll say another power bat. Yeah, we're talking about. We were saying maybe like a Tommy Pham. Some people are saying Bellinger, but Bellinger's left-handed.
I was gonna say that's a left-hander. Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Right here. Eileen C says cocaine washing ashore in Key West. They are discussing it in Shark Week too. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man.
I will check that out, Eileen. I had no idea about that until he said it. I had no idea about cocaine shark. I didn't know what that was, or never heard of it.
I have seen on the news. There apparently there's been a lot more shark attacks like lately, like the past like couple years or whatever, especially like this year. So, I mean, who knows, man?
Stay out of the water, Saul. Stay out of the water.
Yeah, really. All right.
So actually, real quick before you go there, what TV show reminds you of a shark?
I don't know. Sharknado, the movie. I have no idea.
No. A famous TV show back in the day where he jumped the shark. Do you remember that, Saul?
Oh, Fonzie, right?
There you go.
Happy Days, right?
Yes, correct.
You know what's funny? I never put two and two. I never realized I never realized that that's what that came from until like a couple years ago.
Jump the shark.
Yeah, but I've always heard people saying like "jump the shark," like, "Oh, that show jumped the shark. This jumped the shark." Like I've always heard that, but I never put it together. Scott Shelton says, "Thanks, fellas, for the answer. Getting ready for bed early at Hollydale Ice Arena. Peace." All right, hey, thanks, Scott. Thanks for checking us out, bro.
Later, Scotty.
All right, so then we got the Nationals 41-59. They're 5-5 in their last 10, 24 games out. They're sellers. You already mentioned somebody they're going to sell.
Yes, I said Candelario. Yes.
Yeah, they're crazy Eddies. They're selling everybody.
The Candyman.
Yeah. All right, so then
they're
NL
selling
Central,
everybody.
Exactly. All right, so then you got the NL Central. You got the Brewers 56-45. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They're solidly in first place. Well, not really solidly, but they're a game and a half up on the Reds. The Reds are 55-47. They're 1.5 games out.
Speaking of the Reds, slow down for a second. Did you see that hit that De La Cruz hit yesterday?
I didn't, honestly, but I know he's a stud.
It went 450 some odd feet. Oh my Lord. He crushed that ball. I've never seen that. Even the announcer's like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, it's hey, listen, the Reds are here to stay. As long as the thing about the Reds, how they're not a big market team, but the fact that all these guys are young and they're all young at the right time. Worst case scenario, even if they lose some of these guys, they're gonna have a solid core for at least 4 or 5 years.
Well, that kid De La Cruz is no joke, Shaw. He is no joke. That kid can play. Wow.
And if I'm the Reds, I'm trying to pull like what the GM in Atlanta did. Atlanta locked a lot of their guys up.
Yep.
Early. He's very Howie Roseman like with his contracts.
There's that name again.
Sorry, I can't help it. But yeah, I mean, hey, that if I was the Reds, I'd be trying to do something like that. All right, so you got the Cubs. Cubs 48-51. They're 11 games, or I'm sorry, they're only 7 games out. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They're probably sellers at the deadline too, although they're not as far out as let's see, they got 50. Actually, to be honest with you, I still think there'll be sellers, but if you think about it, they're only like 4 out of the wild card race.
And they're actually 3 out of 500 too. I'm just saying, that division, anything's possible.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, everybody. Bryson Stott just got a huge hit. Here comes Harper to the plate. Phillies just tied the game up. Bryson Stott just came up huge.
There you go.
I reversed most.
See, you are the reverse moosh.
Thank you. Yes. All right.
Phillies just tied at 3.
So maybe the Cubs will try to stay in the race. We'll have to see.
I think they just might, honestly.
All right, Cardinals 45-56, 7-3 in their last 10. Though they're 11 games out, and they're
out of last place too. They're finally out of the bottom.
Right, and then you got the Pirates 44-56. They're 3-7 in their last 10. Hopefully, the Phillies kick their ass when we're out there next weekend.
I'm sure they will.
All right, NL West, you got the Dodgers 57-42. I have the Dodgers. Third on my power rankings. You have the Dodgers fourth.
I have them fourth. Yes, it's getting hot out there though in LA. Max Muncy is starting to hit.
Yeah. Yeah, Max Muncy's starting to hit. And with all the injuries, they're playing really good ball.
They just got Kiki too. I heard.
What's that?
They got Kiki today. I heard.
Oh yeah, from Boston. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, he's a former Dodger.
All
right, so Diamondbacks 54-47. They're 4 games out. They're only 2-8 in their last 10. So they're coming back to earth. You got the Giants, the Roaring Gabe Caplers, 54-47. They're 4 games out. They're only 4-6 in their last 10, though. But
That's
they're still
10.
hanging
Yeah.
tight.
Well, actually, they're on a 6-game losing streak too.
Wow.
I know. Well, they just lost to the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers just beat them.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Well, hey, the AL Central. What do I always say about the AL Central, man? They're hot.
They're hot. Oh, yeah. They're hot, all right.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So you got the San Diego yeah, they're about as hot as Roseanne Barr in a bikini.
Are singing the national anthem.
Yeah, real hot, you know. All right, so you got San Diego Padres, 48-53. They're 4-6 in their last 10. They're going to be crazy at East probably.
Slow down with the Padres. Are we disappointed in the Padres? Is this team disappointing? I mean, I was thinking, with Machado and Tatis, and I thought they would be rolling. I can't get over how they're in 4th place in this division. It blows my mind. It really does.
Their owners spent a lot of money too. You ever see The Untouchables? Great movie, right?
No, I've never seen it, but I've heard a lot about it.
All right, so there's a scene in The Untouchables where fucking Robert De Niro is playing Al Capone, and he walks in. Everybody's sitting around a table. He grabs a baseball bat and he's walking around. He's like, baseball's a team sport, and he bashes the shit out of somebody's head. Well, the San Diego owner, I mean, obviously he's not going to bash somebody's head, but he wants to walk in kind of like Robert De Niro, Al Capone did right there, and start telling these guys he's paying all this money to, like, yo, baseball's a team sport. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
In other words, they're severely underachieving, you know? So, all right, so the Padres are probably sellers. Then you got the Colorado Rockies, 40-60. They're hideous, but they're 6-4 in their last 10.
I was just about to. Yeah, they're 64 in the last 10. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're
that spoiler team though. That team's a spoiler team. Like if they're the team that you think you're going to go in there and beat them, and all of a sudden, they come and beat you. It's like okay. Yeah.
By the way, I got it. Alec Boehm just had a huge hit. Phillies just won. I got to change my. Phillies are now 54-47. So I was wrong.
So he did win. They did win?
They did. They came back.
Wow. I know my phone's blowing up because a guy on my softball team's a big Baltimore fan, so they're blowing him up right now.
Yeah, huge win. So, all right, let's move on to the American League here. Definitely the more powerful league. Real quick though, that's the kind of win that can really change momentum. I mean, that's the kind the big win like tonight could be a springboard into a nice little streak.
There you go.
Yeah.
All
right, so you got the Orioles, 62 and now 39. So they were 7-3 in their last 10 going into today. They had a huge weekend series in Tampa. They took 3 out of 4 in Tampa in a showdown series. So that was a big series for them. Tampa Bay 61-42, 2.5 games out, only 3-7 in their last 10.
Yeah.
But like I said, Baltimore took it to them down in Tampa. Taking 3 out of 4. You know what's amazing? Tampa Bay's 36-18 at home. And you figure the Phillies won 3 down there in a sweep, and Baltimore took 3 out of 4. So 6 of those losses were to Baltimore. They only lost 12 games at home. Other than that,
but they're 20. They're 25-24 on the road, though. That's not that's not great.
Yeah, that's a big difference. That reminds me of like the Twins back when they won the World Series in like 87 and 91. Like they had great home records, but on the road they weren't that great.
Are you surprised that Tampa is like blowing this division? Like they're like, what is going on here? I mean, I'm not saying they're going to blow it, but they were in first place all season, like pretty much, 3 months, April, May, and June. And all of a sudden, Baltimore takes over. I'm just saying.
I mean, I hear you, but you know what though? They're 61-42 still. I mean, can we really say they're are they really blowing?
I'm not saying they're going to blow it, but I'm saying it's just like they Baltimore caught up there. They were like 4 or 5 games behind them, weren't they?
Yeah, but do you remember 93? Remember when the Giants had like a 10-game lead on Atlanta?
Yes, I do.
Like, all right.
Yep.
Now that was a great Giants team.
Mhm.
And they still won 103 games, but Atlanta or something like that. But Atlanta won 104. Like, I don't know if anybody can. I don't know if you win 103 games. I don't know if anybody can necessarily say you blew a division. It was
no. I'm not saying they're blowing it, but I'm just saying it's just how they caught up within 5 or 6 games.
Yeah. No, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I got.
What's up, big man? Big Ken Fry in the house.
Ken Fry in the house. You can check him out on the Bat Cave.
Yep. Wednesday at 10 a.m.
That's right. All right. So we move on to the Toronto Blue Jays, a scary-ass team. They're 56 and 45, 4 in their last 10. They're 6.5 games out.
This team is so streaky. I don't get them. I really don't understand that. I don't understand this team. I don't get it.
But if they get it, if they get in, they could be that classic hot team at the right time.
I mean,
team.
Bichette and Guerrero Jr. I mean, the team has so much pop in this lineup. It's insane.
They do. It's almost like a flashback to '93 when they had like Joe Carter, Roberto Alomar.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, this team is really good. I mean, I'm not going to say they're really good. I'm just going to say they're really interesting to watch. Put it that way.
They are. Mm-hmm. New York Yankees, 53 and 47. They're about to be 53 and 48. 4 and 6 in their last 10. Boston Red Sox also 53 and 47. They're 9 games out. They're 6 and 4 in their last 10.
Are you surprised that this division every team is over 500 in this division?
No, because they're all good teams.
Okay.
Yeah, Ken find the point here. If the Jays could get Alek Manoah back on track, watch out. I agree. I agree.
Amazing.
All right, so now we come on to my favorite division, the AL Central.
It's Sully's favorite division, everybody, the AL Central.
But I can't shit on them now because at least their first place team is 6 games over 500, and they're a Minnesota Twins, 54 and 48, 8 and 2 in their last 10. They're playing some good baseball. And
4-game winning streak.
What's that?
4-game winning streak. 4-game winning streak.
So I can't shit on them because the last few times we were on here, they were the first place team was barely 500. Well, now the Twins have upped their record, and so I'm not going to shit on them. They're playing really good.
Yep.
Cleveland Guardians, 49 and 51. They're 4 games out. 4 and 6 in their last 10, but they took 2 or 3 in Cleveland this weekend against our Phils. So they have a guy. Their pitcher. I forgot to name him in the rookie running, but I think his name's Big B or Biggie or whatever. I forget. I forget.
Not sure, to be honest with you. Actually, they're 50 and 51 now.
Well, see, all right. AL, don't call it a comeback. The AL Central is on. They're moving on up like the Jeffersons, man. You know what I'm saying? They're moving.
You mushed them last week.
Exactly. So, Guardians are moving up. Detroit Tigers, 46 and 54. They're 6 and 4 in their last 10. I'll tell you one thing about the Tigers. They have some decent young players on that team. The future might not be. The future might not be horrendous in Detroit.
Maybe not. I mean, they are in third place.
I was going to say in a couple years, good things might be coming to the 8 Mile. You know what I mean?
Yep, I agree.
Chicago White Sox are pretty hideous, though. They're 41 and 60, 3 and 7 in their last 10. I'll tell you what. If
12 and a half out too.
Yeah, if they somehow made Dylan Cease available, I would consider giving up some really good prospects to get Dylan Cease. Because you imagine if you put Dylan Cease, first off, he'd make a huge impact on any team's rotation. Mm-hmm. Imagine if you put him in, like slotted him in as like a 1A with Wheeler. Actually, that wouldn't be a bad thing.
No,
he would really help a team like Philadelphia. He'd really help a team like Tampa Bay. He'd really help a team like Baltimore. I mean, just need. He'd really help a team like Atlanta because honestly, as good as Atlanta is, I think they could use another pitcher.
So if you're going to have this kid, where would you put Nola? 3?
I think Nola's a 3 or a 4 anyway. Mostly more.
Do you really?
I do. Yeah. I mean, well, Nola's weird though. He's like an every other year guy. Like one.
But I'm saying, but his last few starts have been pretty good though.
Why? Yeah, we were saying that last night. No, I agree. I was saying, like, even though he's still giving up home runs, you're right. If I could get if I could get the Nola the last 2 starts, I feel pretty out. Now here's Eileen. See, bases loaded, 1 out for the Yanks, down 7-2. Could I do it twice?
Two times in one day? Only you, Saul. Only you.
I hope so. I hope so because I'd like to see the Yanks come
2
back.
times in one night? Is Sully that hot?
Dude, I might be overtaking John Lieb.
Possibility.
Yeah. So, all right. Now let's move on to the Royals.
Yeah, the poor Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm not even going to waste my breath with the George Brett thing and all. They suck.
Nah. So, do you believe they're 25 and a half games back?
It's pretty hideous.
It is pretty bad. 3-7 the last 10. 29 and 74, Saul. Think about that. 29 and 74.
I know. They're
I mean, okay, so if you're a Kansas City fan, okay, I'll just do you go to a game and just watch it? And what do you just go to watch the other team? What do you do? I mean, if you're a baseball fan and you live in Kansas City and you know your team's as hideous as they are, do you go to a game? Do you just like?
Yeah, I mean, well, all right. So I'll be honest with you. If it's not the playoffs, right? If it's not a big game and it's not the playoffs, even though I love baseball, I love the Phillies, right?
Right.
But there's 162 games. Like I'll be real with you. When I go to a game, dude, I go mostly for like the outing. Like I go to bust a grub. Like I go to I go to have a couple beers in the parking lot. Like I go it's kind of like being part of the scene. Now, if it's the playoffs, I'm in every pitch. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like
I got you.
So I mean, I could see like, if you're living in Kansas City and like maybe you're looking for something to do, maybe you take your girlfriend down, you get something to eat, you hang out a little bit. The game's like a small little part of it. Like your team sucks. So you're just there for an outing.
Just out for a night, go watch the Royals play. Doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Or like young college kids, maybe tailgating. Oh, David Robertson. Eileen C. I guess David Robertson. The Mets brought in Robertson, I guess.
Oh, they brought Robertson? Okay.
All right. Well, let's hope he blows the game. David pretend you're in Philadelphia. Pretend you're with the Phillies. Blow the game.
Right. Okay.
All right.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, if I was in Kansas City, I would go just to go because I'm a baseball fan.
Right.
I mean, I would. I would just go to watch it. I wouldn't really care.
Yeah.
But I mean,
exactly.
But to watch it, I mean, I just feel bad because Kansas City hasn't done nothing in a while. They really haven't.
Well, it would almost be like going to a minor league game. Like you ever go to like a minor league game and you kind of just.
I've seen the Blue Rocks play. I've been to Reading games. I mean,
Exactly. Me too. Exactly. So it's like, like I went to, I would go to like 2 or 3 Trenton Thunder. When I lived in Yardley, I'd go to like 2 or 3 Trenton Thunder games a year for something to do. And like,
sure. I got you.
Get a pork roll sandwich, hang out. You know what I mean?
I got you. Yep.
I mean, I could care. I literally didn't give one crap about what happened in the game. You know what I mean?
Right. I got you.
All right, so let's go AL West here. Texas Rangers are still, here's Ken Fry. I was gonna bring this up actually. Ken Fry said. Ken Fry says they won a World Series in 15 against the Mets. Royals can suck it. Yeah, I don't think Ken likes the Royals too much.
I guess Ken's not a real fan either. So there you go.
Yeah. All right. So Rangers are still hanging in there at first. They're 59 and 42, 7-3 in their last 10. The Astros right behind them, 57 and 44. They're 2 games out. They're also 7 and 3 in their last 10. We both have the I have the Rangers as number 5 and the Astros as number 6 in my power rankings, and you have same thing. We both have 5 and 6.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Two top 6 teams, and honestly, 2 real World Series threats. We were talking about the Rangers could really use a pitcher. That's a team. That's a team that if they got a Blake Snell, a Stroman, or a Dylan Cease, or one of these top pitchers, if the Rangers made a move like that, that could be the kind of power move that puts them over the top.
They're dangerous. They're a dangerous team. They are. They're a dangerous team. I was watching highlights of them the other day. I'm like, man, this team is good. I mean, they're just
real good.
They're real good. Mm-hmm.
They're real good. They got a good lineup too.
They do. Hey, they swept. Did the Phillies get swept down there the first week of the season?
Did, opening weekend. Yeah,
that's what I thought. Yep.
All right. So Anaheim Angels, very interesting team. 51 and 49, 7.5 games out, 6 and 4 in their last 10. Remains to be seen what remains to be seen what they're going to do at the trade deadline
with their main guy. Yeah.
They're I mean, they're the biggest domino, honestly.
Yankees only got one run out of it, so it's 7-3.
Yeah, 7-3. Yeah, all
got
right.
It. Mm-hmm.
Angels are probably the biggest domino because if they trade Ohtani, that could be the difference maker anywhere.
Right now they're 7 games back, but they're only 4 games out of the wild card zone. I
know. So that doesn't that make you wonder? Here's the thing. Here's the thing with them. They're probably gonna play this trade deadline out all the way through this week because 6 and 4 in their last 10. What if they win? What if they win like 4 out of the next 5? Then they could just take a run at it.
Yep, I hear you. Mm-hmm.
All right, so then we go to your Mariners.
My Mariners,
50 and 50, 8.5 games.
500.
Yeah, and also 5 and 5 in their last 10. I mean,
they have a lot of 5s in there.
Yeah,
and they're 5.5 out of the wild card spot.
They gotta be one of the most disappointing teams, and they're up there.
But you know what though? So timeout. Last year, if you remember, they got hot in September. They really did. They got hot in September, and that was So I think that's what's going to happen with them. You watch September; they're going to get hot.
Hey, look, I wouldn't put it past them. They have a lot of talent on that team. I wouldn't put it past them.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, and then lastly, we got the Oakland A's, 28 and 74, 3 and 7 in their last 10. Them and the Royals basically is a battle between who could be the most shittiest team ever
in the American League. Yeah, pretty bad.
Well, in any league.
True.
I mean, if you look at the battle of the suck, right? Oakland is 1 game worse than the Royals, and all the other teams that blow are like 12 games better than them.
Mm-hmm. Well, Oakland, that would be a game to go watch. Oakland and Kansas City.
Yeah, that would be like tell me you're watching a AAA game without telling me you're watching a AAA game. You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely. I hear you.
Yeah. Now I don't know. You know how baseball is like. You never know.
That would actually be a pitching duel. Probably fun to watch too.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's been a long time since you had George Brett going against Dave Stewart.
This is the long. I hear it. Yep.
Yeah. So,
but let's go to Oakland Kansas City game, Saul.
I know, right? All right. So. All right. Well, anyway, next time we're on here will be after our Pittsburgh trip. So hopefully, maybe we'll have some cool stories. We should have some cool stories. Hopefully,
can't wait for that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And then also it'll be the trade deadline. I think. What is the trade deadline? What?
I think it's August. I think it's August 1st, isn't it? I believe.
Okay. Yeah. So if that's the case, then we will be on trade deadline night.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yep. So So next week we'll be breaking down the big trades and kind of doing a review of a preview of who's August 1st, next Tuesday, August
Maybe
1st.
Ohtani will be an Angel. Maybe he won't. We don't know.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, it'll be an interesting week. So it'll be an interesting week. And
see what happens.
Good luck. Good luck to everybody's teams out there, except for the Braves, Nationals, Marlins, and Mets. Sorry, but got to root against you. But I will say, even though I'm rooting against you, make sure you check out my man Ken Fry's show because he does a great job on the back.
Yes, Wednesday night, 10 a.m. Batcave.
I know. I feel so bad though because he's such a good guy, and it's like I'm sitting here like.
But you can check out my man Ken Fry with me on Friday night, 10:30. The Atomic Drop Podcast coming at you from Mr. Fuji's den. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm thinking you might have to blow that joint off. We might have to hit something. We have to hit a bar or something somewhere. But now I'm just playing. All right. Well, see you all. Have a great week.
Go Phils.